All
Hello,
right,
everyone. Yeah, yes.
okay, Sandeep, yeah, go on.
All right, everyone. Welcome to the Sky Network show. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. We'll be starting in a couple of minutes. Let's see. We are live everywhere. All right, Yogesh, over to you.
All right, Sandeep, thank you very much. And yep, everyone, welcome. Let's wait for a couple more minutes where other people to join. But meanwhile, I'll just take a few moments to, as always, acknowledging all the people who are with us today. There are people are started joining this show, so really appreciate your time, and we'll make sure that whatever the time that you spend here will be worthwhile, and it would be a powerful conversation. Yeah, so yeah, very excited to be here. I mean, as usual, right? So we are here with all these episodes, and this is a fantastic journey. So very excited to be here in participating in the conversation. What are the possible in the Sky platform? And today's show is all about the burn effect. So yeah, very excited, Sandeep, to be here and yeah, having conversation about this.
Yeah, definitely. And welcome, Richie. Thank you for being on the show, and we really appreciate your commitment on behalf of Sky community. Would love to welcome you again. How are you doing today,
Thanks
sir?
for having me. Always an honor to be here and enjoy it every time. Great conversations as usual.
Yeah. So yeah, will be starting in a couple of minutes, as rightly Yogesh said, and the today's topic of the discussion will be around the title of the today's episode itself is the burn effect, right? And it's all about how burn can help us grow and be a real create value and distribute that value to each holder equally. So yeah, Yogesh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I mean the theme of the today's show, the Burn Effect, is basically empowers the all the sky holders with a distribution. I mean there is it's hypothetical. Okay, so people might be thinking, if you are burning, what is my benefit? For example, if some people are holding some of the sky coins and thinking, what's my benefit if you are burning the coin? But that's the theoretical or metaphorical concept that burning actually is a distribution of value to all the sky holders. Why? Because the supply of the coin is constantly reducing from the circulation, which means definitely whatever the coins are burned, they are gone permanently forever, which means the all the value, because every coin has a value. Now those coin has been burned, they're out of the circulation. Unlike the traditional financial system, fiat system, for example, like in India, INR, and all the countries, all the fiat system, they can print money. Of course, it's controlled by the constitution of a particular country, but still they are inflationary mechanism, right? So they constantly print more money into a circulation, and they have their own economic benefits, advantage, disadvantages. We are not going for that, but always $1 is giving you the value now. After 5 years later, half of that, right? So value is always going down. Why? Because there is an inflation. So that's the simple economic law. Now, when there is a deflationary, which is complete opposite model, deflationary. So there are deflation of the coin from the circulation. It literally distributes the wealth or value to all the sky holders according to their proportion. So if some people are holding more sky, they will receiving the value more, and those who are holding less, they will be receiving the less value. So it's like a distribution, proportionally, how much coins. That's what the burn effect
Okay, I think
conversation.
Yogesh, go ahead.
I could jump in there. Yeah. Um, so the great example that you were just
All
talking about
right.
is the current system we have now, right? You look at the U.S. dollar, you look at the Canadian dollar. These are all inflationary dollars. So what's happened over time? Let's use the U.S. dollar for example. It used to be worth so much 20, 30 years ago, and now the prices in the store, the price of everything has gone up significantly because the value, the actual spending power of the dollar itself has drastically dropped over the years. This because they're bringing in so much more dollars into circulation, but there's no new products, right? So every dollar buys you less and less and less and less, and eventually it becomes worthless because you have to have so many dollars. And we've seen this in African countries and countries all over the world over time, where their dollar started off strong. El Salvador is another example of this. And then over time, you had to spend, it was 100,000 of that currency to buy a loaf of bread. So what's that currency worth? Nothing, right? It's actually almost like a secondary tax on the population itself by having overinflation, right? Or making too much currency and no new value, no new products added at the same time as you're introducing this currency. So this burn, this deflationary mechanism is one of the best ways that blockchains and uh, economic structures can support a community, because as that supply is coming lower and lower and lower, and we see an example of this by Bitcoin with 21 million coins, well, actually less than that. Look at the value of Bitcoin because it can get to those numbers, has less and less supply, as where a coin that has consistently adding more coins, inflationary, the value of that has to keep rising just to offset the new coins that are being introduced into that market, right? If it doesn't, and there's so many people holding more and more and more coins and more and more and more selling pressure on that actual market, that trading pair, etc., then it's harder and harder to keep that price, right? And this is not financial advice, obviously. But a coin like Bitcoin, for example, is much easier to attain those higher prices because it has a smaller supply, right? If the demand is there and the supply is always decreasing, right? In theory, the price should go the opposite way, right? It should go up. It's a mechanism that really supports and brings scarcity to the coin itself. Now you combine that with utility and use cases, you have a great combination there for a successful coin and increasing price over time.
Mm-hmm. Hello. Hello. Yeah. Sorry for the technical glitch there. I think. Are we good? Are you able to hear me, Richie?
I can hear yes.
All right. Yogesh, how you doing? Are you good technically?
Yes,
I'm not
yes,
sure. I think you might have internet.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
No,
there you
no,
go.
all good. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, Richie, you put a really nice point there, and I would like to add on that. Thank you very much, Yogesh. He also rightly put that, see, this is the biggest difference between uh, inflationary model and deflationary model, right? So we are, and again, as Richie rightly pointed out, right, the supply is fixed. Can never be new sky, created on secure chain mainnet, right? And that is the main reason, uh, also, that we reduced our total supply from 700 million to 500 million, right? Because we didn't like, we do want sky to be multi-chain for sure. Okay, but at the start we did it for a reason. The reason was to keep the, because our blockchain was new at that time, right? So we wanted to have an off-chain, um, asset, like we wanted to have the like assets which were communities assets. We wanted to keep it on the, like bigger chains like Ethereum and BSC. But now the sky is competent. Sky is there. It has arrived, and that is one reason we are reducing the total supply from like 700 to 500. And so far, every Sunday we have been doing 20 million sky burn, right? And so far, Yogesh, would you like to add on that burn part?
Yes, yes. on Ethereum side, we have already burned 60 million, 60 million coins on Ethereum network, and on BSC network is already 40 million. So it's over 100 million is already burned. And on secure chain mainnet, there are also burning is started happening because of all these breach, and there are many other components, the transaction getting burned and everything. So mainnet sky is also started getting burned, and this can be publicly verified by going to dead address. So all these coins are sent to a dead address. So the way it works is basically it's like a black hole. So whatever the coins that are sent to those wallets, they are permanently gone. So there are no more, they're no more coming back. So yeah, so that's how the all the supply is getting down on Ethereum network, on the mainnet, and as well as BSC network, the old BSC network. Okay, so because now we have also the migrated one, but the old coin, there are, originally it was 700 million, as Sandeep said, that will be eventually be put down to 500 million, and then it will continue burning down. Okay, so burning is never gonna stop. That's part of a blockchain. So whatever the transaction fees that are paid, certain percentage from that will be burned automatically. Other than that, there are many other ways for the burning mechanism to kick off, which means there is a higher level of burning going that's going to happen. And the more coins that are burned, as Sandeep said, more coins are burned, it will create more the upward cycle of value or value distribution. So yeah, I mean, these are things can be publicly verifiable. Okay, so if those people who want to verify all these things, they can simply go to the Etherscan, or they can just verify them. Let me send some of the links in the chat box, so those people who are here might they want to go there and want to check them out. So it's a good thing for them to happen as well. So give me a moment. Right, so these are
And
the
that's one of the
BS.
powerful,
Mhm.
I was about to say, that's one of the most powerful parts about blockchain in general, right? With our currencies, national currencies, we don't know how much is actually in supply. They can tell you a number, but you can't verify any of that. With blockchain, we can verify every single token that's been burnt, every coin, right? There's accountability, there's the trustless factor that's involved inherently in blockchain itself. So you don't just have these great economic functions, right? In the way that this works and the deflationary mechanism of it, we also have transparency. Every single coin can be tracked. Every single coin, you can go right now to the Etherscan and see that there's been 60,180,742.37 Sky coins burnt to this day on that contract, right? Verifiable to the decimal, not just to the coin. So the transparency part of this, this is the next step, right? Like blockchain, that's why blockchain is going to be incorporated in our daily lives, whether people like it or not, right? We don't have to trust each other anymore, right? This is all verifiable to the decimal, right? We've never had that form of accountability in the past. Now going forward, we do. So it changes things completely.
Yeah. Also, Richie, would like to add one more thing here, that it's not just that this 200 million sky which are being burnt. I mean, we have already crossed 100 million skies are burnt. That is like a great achievement. So kudos to the team, kudos to the community, kudos to everybody. That yes, we are on the right path. Now, second thing is, it's not just that this supply is being burnt. Now, as let me just share the bridge. So you can see the on the bridge itself, like the new bridge which is being released in beta. You can see we have a sky burn counter, right? So the reason is, at every cross chain transaction, when you move secure sky from one network to another network, 2% of the sky which will be going to the burn. Why we are doing it? Because already, like on previous tokens also, we had the 2% tax, right? But we do not want to collect that tax. We want it to be distributed to every sky holder. And how it can be done? As I said, with the burn. Also, it's not just that one time. The new dApps which are being built on Sky Network, or in future whatever the team builds, like I can tell for me and Yogesh and core team, if like whatever the depths which are being built from the core team or anywhere in the Sky network, wherever if any profits are being made, they'll be always burnt, right? So Richie, yeah, this is the idea, and this is also one of the competition today for today's episode is uh, I want community members to find out that yeah, so I want community members to see that and let's kind of what we say, let's predict like how many Sky can be burnt other than this 200 million. This 200 is for sure are being burnt, but with the help of bridge and other things which will come soon, right? How many Sky tokens do you think will be burnt? Again, this is not a question, because this is about predicting. It's not that you will be able to find the right answer now, but let's predict that okay, by 31st of May, which is our 10th episode, we'll see that how many Sky are burnt till then, and whoever has the accurate uh, this one will get the reward for that. What do you say, Yogesh?
Yeah, 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 definitely. So it's kind of fun and to something a kind of contest or something like that. So I think it will give people kind of opportunity to predict, and based on that prediction, whatever that has been, those people who have done the correct the prediction, they will get the right some kind of reward. Um, one thing I want to add here, Sandeep, the thing that you mentioned about the depth, there are so many other depths that will going to be being built by the core team, and whatever the profit or whatever the source of revenue that they generated through those decentralized blockchain applications, all the coins will be burned. I think this is absolutely powerful and fantastic idea. Why? Because it has a limitless possibilities. Because if we build, let's say the core team builds maybe 10 application, 10 blockchain application on that, maybe let's say half of them does really well, which means it has tremendous amount of the source of revenue for whatever the sources, for whatever kind of dapps that is. And if all of them is going to burn, which means there is a large number of coins that's going to be burned. I mean, the potential is limitless. So I think that gives a lot of excitement, right? Isn't it? What do you say?
Definitely. Richie, would you like to add
Yeah.
anything here?
So the team, instead of making the profits on these applications, right? Instead of burning these, they could have easily said, okay, well, all the profits from all these applications and all of these mechanisms, including the portal itself, the actual the bridge over to the other networks, they could have easily said, okay, we'll just keep that and benefit because now they're making more. They've chosen to put a burn function into these as well. So that shows commitment to the community itself, not just putting value into their side, right? So that shows they care about the scarcity. They care about the long term healthy market structure of this coin itself, and not about making as much money as possible, right? Which most projects chose to do the opposite, the latter, right? A lot of money is usually made on these bridges and these applications, and for the team to say, okay, well, we're going to sacrifice funding and liquidity and marketing resources and the rest to give back to the community in the form of a burn, the deflationary amplification, right? That's extremely important to see the core values of your team themselves, right? They could easily have gone the other way and they chose not to. They chose to do something that's going to benefit the community instead of something that's going to benefit them more than the community. So that's very important to point out.
Yeah. Also, Richie, I would like to quote one words of wisdom here. Okay, this is something which I have learned from elders. I mean, not anybody specific, but this is a general proverb in Hindi saying that जिस देश की प्रजा like जिस देश का राजा व्यापारी उस देश की प्रजा भिखारी. It translates into like that, that like if a king of the country is a like is a businessman, then the people of that country will not have money. Okay,
Mm.
and we do not want to be businessmen here. For sure, this is a community project, and we want and that can be only done by, like, with the this, and again, with the blockchain and with all this technology we have, this web3 tech, this allows us to distribute this, and create value and distribute it amongst the community. And end of the day, we are community owned project, right? End of the day, we are um, everything about community. It's not just one thing. But yes, we are not same as other projects. Yes, we are not. Other many projects works by, going to centralized exchange listings. By, I mean, there are SOPs. I mean, those viewers may not be able to, get it 100%. What I mean to say, but Richie, would you mind explaining it a little bit, like how the sky is, this project itself is different, right? We have not took the same path which every blockchain project takes, right?
100%. And that's what, at the end of the day, us developing our blockchains in the functions and the way it works and the economics, like we like to call it, or the tokenomics generally spoken of, is what sets every project apart, right? Is what's going to make the difference between someone saying, I want to build on Sky, or I want to build on Evolve blockchain, or I want to build on Ethereum or Binance, because of how it works, because of the deflationary manner, because if it's backed by anything, because if it has AI incorporated into it, right? Sky, Evolve, we've taken different paths than the rest of the market for a reason. We're trying to give everyone as many options as possible and see how they can benefit from building and being on our ecosystems, our networks, compared to the differences of the other ones, right? The flaws that the other ones have in scalability, expensive fees, all of that has been solved with both Sky and Evolve blockchain. So we're trying to give as many value points as possible, because at the end of the day, the blockchain that is ultimately the one that's being incorporated and utilized the most is the one that the most people see value in, right? So you, the community, have to choose between all of these different options, and there's literally thousands of options out there. Which one you want to pick to build your token, your NFT collection, and why you're going to pick that for a reason, right? Is it because of the cheap fees? Is it because of the scalability? Is it because the AI incorporation, the audits, all of that plays an extremely big role in your decision to where will I build, where will I create, where will I build this community on top of, and that at the end of the day is what the value comes to blockchains, right? The network itself. If you have 10 people on a network, it's a very small network. But if you have 1 million people on that network because of the way they built that blockchain, how it works, how it functions, that it's building scarcity over time because of the deflationary manner of it, that's the power behind that blockchain, right? At the end of the day, the community is the heart and soul of every blockchain. So you have blockchains like Doge, for example, that started off like a meme coin or a joke, and now they have a gigantic community behind it, right? But the utility isn't there yet, in my opinion. Now with our blockchains, we have the scalability and everything to be able to incorporate into the future and scale, right? And become bigger and bigger and bigger and support that community with the added tokenomics of the deflationary or reflections or the AI incorporation. That's what's going to set us apart. That's what makes our blockchains unique at the end of the day. And that's what will bring more people to us compared to other blockchains because of those factors.
True, true. Also, Richie, I would like to add one more point here. That is, there is one very, very, very good feature of secure chain, which, really gets overlooked a lot. That is about, so we have something called guestless transactions. Okay.
That's right.
That you can, do the transaction with zero gas fees. But and also, of course, whatever the gas fees are paid, 50% of gas fee anyway goes to burn, right? So that particular feature is overlooked, but it would be, actually everybody will really understand the value of that when it comes to maybe like 6 months or 1 year down the line, right? When the gas fees will be actually uh, putting a hole in your pocket. So we want to make sure that we are ready for that period also. That it's not like, okay, so this happens with the Ethereum always, right? If Ethereum goes
Yeah.
about 3,500, 4,000, then automatically your like gas fees goes higher. People tend to move out to other network, and then
because they have to.
feedback mechanism. Yeah.
Right? So I'll give you an example of that. So this is now 2 years ago. Time flies. I created an NFT collection that was supposed to go to help for people who've been injured with vaccines, mental illness, job loss in Canada, which was a big thing at the time, right? And I wanted to launch on Ethereum. So we go to launch, and the NFTs would be $50 an NFT. And then when we go to launch, the gas fees at that time was almost $50. So you were paying $100 for a $50 NFT. We had to stop the sale of the NFT and start from scratch and say, hey, we can't survive on this network. These fees are way too high, right? No one's going to buy or should buy $100 for a $50 NFT. So then we came to the drawing board again. We started thinking about, okay, what's the next best alternative? And then we actually created Evolve Blockchain. We started on that project and scaling through what that would look like and how we can solve some of these problems that we're running into ourselves trying to launch an NFT collection, which is something that's not very hard to do. But at the same time, because the network fees, and we've seen this on Bitcoin, we've seen this on Ethereum and several other blockchains already, where as they have that volume, right, and this is where the scalability comes into fact. Imagine a small door and everyone's trying to rush through that same small door and the lineup goes down the street, right? And that's what's happening with Ethereum. And people are like, hey, I'll pay $20, I'll pay $30, I'll pay $50 to get in front of that line, right? With our blockchains and the scalability, our door is much, much bigger, right? I wouldn't even consider it a door at this point. That way, everyone can seamlessly put their transactions through, and there's no big lineup trying to get those transactions. And then you don't have that bidding war that drives up the value, or sorry, the price of the fees itself just to get transactions you need to get to instantly or semi-instantly, right? And you're not waiting minutes to get a transaction through and paying an extremely high amount of fees, right? So cheap, very cheap, or no fees whatsoever is going to drive mass adoption as well, right? You can't have an application that has thousands and thousands of transactions going through every few seconds, right? Because you have a large user base and then pay $1, $10, $20. It's unreasonable for them. They couldn't sustain that. You need to have accessibility, scalability, but also those low fees to be able to build a game or a trading network or whatever you want to build on these networks and not have to pay tens of thousands of dollars in fees for that to happen. Or you can transfer that cost onto the actual users themselves. Who's going to play a game if you're paying $1,000 to play it in a day, right? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
True, Richie. Also, with so right, we are already like halfway in the show. So, and we have our guest today with us from Nara AI. So this is the new token which is being like this is the new project which is coming on the secure chain Sky network. Okay, and they are here to tell us about their project and kind of ask the questions which helps community understand this project well. So first of all, I would like to welcome the team from Nara AI. Hello. Yeah. Could you please unmute yourself and okay. Hello, Nara team. Are you able to hear me? All right. Looks like some technical
Yeah,
issue.
I'm there. Hello. God.
Yeah. All right. You got it. We can hear you. Welcome. Welcome to the Sky Network show.
Thank you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm glad to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Very well.
Welcome. Yeah, we can hear you well. No problem. Welcome
Okay.
to the show. Would
So
you like?
I'll be repping Nara AI. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, everybody. I want
Yes.
to introduce Nara AI, the decentralized AI project. Can I proceed? Are you there?
I think you are having some network issue.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but your voice is breaking.
Okay. Um, but it's okay now, right?
Yeah, could you please repeat?
Okay. I'm glad, and I'll be repping Nala here, the decentralized on the SCAI network
Still choppy.
that you build own and
Yeah. I think your voice is dropping.
are you hearing me?
Okay, I think he's having some network issue. We'll have to check with them and let them know that maybe next show they will be much more prepared. Um,
We're
let's
gonna
see.
have to come up with a decentralized internet option to solve these network issues we keep running into.
Yeah, definitely. Decentralized internet. Yeah.
Put that on the list of things to do.
Yeah.
Definitely, it is there on the list. It is, and that is like kind of it's all about like okay we have started on right now though it is Web3 but it actually works on Web2 infrastructure, right?
That's a vulnerability, that's for sure.
Exactly. So we also like it's like we have started we have built on Web2, but now the end goal maybe like 1 year down the line, 2 year down the line, 3 years down the line, we will definitely be working on Web3 to Web3. Mesh internet works
Yeah.
well, available on all around the earth. Maybe it works on the moon, on the Mars, in the whole solar system. So and
In,
that should be so that makes it the project.
Interplanetary is what we need.
Exactly. And
interplanetary.
also it makes a project very safe also, right? That okay,
Yep.
this project is going to be running 100 years down the line without anybody's interruption, without anybody doing anything. So that's the end goal, right?
Yeah, because our internet connections right now, the base providers, they all report all the action that happens on the internet on their services to every government at the end of the day, which there's obviously security risk there of certain people doing stuff online that they shouldn't be doing. And I see that part of it. But if we do want to get decentralized to the point of true decentralization, all the nodes operating on those systems are still in some way, shape, or form influenced by those systems, right? If they went down, they shut down the internet in a country, and all of your nodes were running off of one country's internet providers, you'd have a problem. So the first step would be okay, so decentralize that from different countries all over the world, have different servers running on all these nodes. But then you still have what if all of them went down, which is an unlikely scenario. At the same time, we do know for a fact that those internet connections are being monitored at all times. A decentralized satellite mesh network system, right, in my opinion, is the next step in decentralization when it comes to blockchains in general, because now you're not operating on a country's servers or a country's internet connection. You're running on a distributed, independent, decentralized connection that is global. And that can be in any place in the world, from Africa to Dubai to South America. Everyone can access and use our networks because we do need internet. Let's face it. If we don't have internet, you go to a jungle in Brazil, for example, and you don't have internet, you can't send your Sky coins back and forth. You can't trade. You can't use those mechanisms. So the next step is global internet connection that isn't controlled by one entity, so that we can have that truly decentralized networks, right? We can get as decentralized as we can get it now with what we have to work with, right? But the end goal is to take that next step and truly break away from every other system and give people in the communities a free and open internet connection so that we can really take the power of blockchain and amplify it across the globe.
True. And this is the right thing to do also, and I think whether we do it or not or who does it, this is the way world is progressing.
Yeah,
So that is for sure. If we want to stay relevant, we should start working on that area right now, and
it's one of those
maybe
things. If we can build it, amazing. If someone else builds it, great. Partner with that company, and everyone can benefit. I say this all over the time. A rising tide rises all ships, right? So everyone working together to rise that tide, right? Every ship's going with it. The water goes up, everyone goes up with it. So mass adoption only happens when we really help each other rise up, right? And that's globally. It's not just one country or another. It's not one team or one project or another. It's everyone working to benefit the whole ecosystem rather than just one network, one specific. My token is better than yours. My coin is better than yours. That rhetoric that we see all the time, the tribalism in crypto itself, is intoxicating. It's like it's toxic to the growth and the actual success of our future blockchains, right? So when people really get that end goal of it's not just about you or me, it's about this space being incorporated globally and people really using this for the power that it has, whether that's logistics or healthcare or interoperability from one to another type thing. That only happens if we work together. That only happens if we put aside our egos and put aside, I want this to happen just because I benefit the most from it. And we start working together on what is best for everyone long term, right? And there's not going to just be one network. There's going to be many different networks. Different areas of the world will pick what network they want to use because it benefits them, because it has the value points they value in those parts of the world, right? It's never just going to be, hey, use this one coin and everyone has to use it. That's what we have now with the currencies, right? And we still have hundreds of different currencies, right? If you look at it. So I think the same thing will happen with blockchain, right? Every area, every country, and their public, their actual communities, their people will choose what blockchain they value in that country. And the better part is we'll be able to easily exchange from one to the other seamlessly, unlike we have now.
Correct. And yeah, as you rightly said, Richie, blockchain is the technology, right? And this is how the secure chain AI was also born, right? With this thought that, okay, this is the technology which can create a global economy and, make it available to each and every person without worrying about the borders, without worrying about anything else, right? It is very simple, straightforward. That's what we wanted to build, right? Uh,
Yeah.
we wanted to build community owned blockchain which is owned by the community 100%, fair and square, simple, okay, no nonsense, no hidden agendas, no no inflationary mechanisms, got it, no tax. It is all about like, okay, tax is there but it goes to burn, so it is everybody's basically everybody's getting benefit of it. But end of the day, that is what it is about. And with this deflationary mechanisms, adding every week or every 10 days or every month, a new dApp will start, and with the new dApps, even more burn will happen. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Our job is to maintain and update. The rest is for the community.
100%. Yogesh, would you like to add anything here?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So you are talking about the advancement in technology, okay? So now, just want to add. You talked about the decentralized internet, decentralized. We also talked about decentralized AI. So these are the
Yeah.
kind of but I think it's probable future. So maybe like quantum computing and those who are very super effective and powerful computers that will be there then definitely in some day. So I think we at the in terms of technical part, you talked about the sky burn and all, that's at one level, but when you talk about the technical part and technical security part, I think that's also the technology is constantly evolving, okay? So it's constantly getting better and better. There are hundreds of thousands of scientists and computer scientists are working tirelessly day and night throughout the world. I mean, think about all these research institutes and all these universities. The human capabilities are going through the next level. So I mean, we are in the generations, we are witnessing all these technological shifts.
Very well said, Yogesh. Yeah.
When we combine decentralized internet with the decentralized open source AI behind that as
Mm.
well, what we can build in the future is limitless because
Yeah.
we're no longer being restricted by you can't talk about this or you can't talk about that or we're going to stop this invention from coming out. The last few years, if we learned anything, the rise of social media, podcasts, independent journalism has really pushed forward transparency. As we're used to get all your information from centralized forms of that, right? Like a TV or network, and they can only talk about whatever they're allowed to talk about because their funding comes from obviously big corporations. And if you want to keep getting funded, you're not going to talk about something that goes to corporations. This decentralized media, this decentralized blockchains, decentralized internet, decentralized AI is the next step in true transparency and true innovation, where you're never going to be held back from innovating and building what you can vision, right? With AI now, you can think of an idea and bring it to life with just prompts now. It's no longer you have that hurdle of not being able to code anymore, right? Yes, you should always have a developer verify and kind of vet what you've done to make sure it works like you think it's going to work, right? Because you still need that use case. You still need that professionalism, that expertise to kind of go on the back end and make sure it works exactly like you think it's going to work. But that starting point, that vision, you can take an idea and within a short period of time, this might be an hour or two, right, at the lowest, and a few days at the highest, and you could bring your vision to a reality to the point where you can now share with your developer or your expert in the field that you don't have expertise in what your vision is, what you want to achieve with this, how it's going to work in your vision, your mindset, your end goal. And then they can have an easy, okay, I see what you're doing here. You just need to tweak this, or that. And now you've brought an idea concept into a working product in a short period of time. And this is only going to get better as AI gets better and better at turning an actual idea, a prompt, into a working application or function, right? And that's going to get amplified in the next few weeks and months and years. We're really going to see the ability for someone who doesn't have the background to really be creative and innovate and build things that they never thought possible, right? AI, everyone's like, oh, we're going to lose all these jobs and everything else. But I think AI is also going to unlock so much more innovation that we've never had the ability to before, right? We went from not being able to get information except from schools and books to now be able to access any information about anything online and almost for free, all of it. And now we're going to go from there to actually being able to build what we want to build, what we can envision, what we can, a thought process we have, right? On top of that information now. And the next step is, well, we'll see what the next step is. I guess it's already pretty amazing as is. But yeah, we've had a paradigm shift when it comes to the tools we have, the ability for us to turn something we can see, we can vision, we can imagine of how you want something to work to solve your problems in your life, and then really amplify that and make that into a real solution, an application, a use case, a website, whatever you'd like to build. So yeah, things are going to be interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, for sure. And you put it really well there, Virachi. By the way, we have the Nara AI team back with us. So let's unmute them and give them some like let's take 10 minutes and Nara team, you can start with your introduction and then we'll start with the questions. What do you say? Let's make it an AMA session. Why not? Why, Richie?
What was that? Sorry, I missed that.
Let's Okay, let us create an AMA for Nara AI. We are the community members, and whatever the information we want, let's ask them. Over to you, Nara team.
Yeah, if Nara, can you hear us? Maybe start off with just a breakdown of what is Nara AI, how it works.
Yeah. Mm, okay. Not to avail.
We'll wait for them to, when they jump
Can
online, and
you hear me?
as soon as they start, how
Hi.
the project works, how mechanisms of Nara AI.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Hello.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Is it clear now?
Yeah, it is very.
Is it
It
clear?
is clear.
So far.
Can you hear me clear? Hey
Yeah, go
everyone.
ahead.
I'm glad to be here. I'm repping the decentralized AI project, which lets you build and hone and evolve your very AI assistant. What we want to do is for you to build an AI whereby it is controlled by online AI that is being controlled by the builders. This one is going to be controlled by you. You own it, use your AI, whatever you want for it to do for you. That's what it's going to be doing. It's not as if you're going to be shared or you're going to be monopolized. You own your data, and we want to leverage on blockchain to be able to achieve this. And using SCAI network, which is a good network and for AI project. So that's basically what Nara AI is about. Our vision is to build, to hone, and to evolve your AI, which is going to do according to your rule, not the other way around. Then you may want Nara AI different from other projects like ChatGPT, DeepSeek, and rest. Is that it's blockchain based, and then it's the ownership is being controlled by you. That's the most unique thing about it. It's being controlled by the rules you give it is what you own your data 100%. And then again, you can personalize it. It's fully customized and to your individual. It's fully customized to your
Yeah,
individual needs.
Reggie.
And again, your data, you feel the AI is safe with you because you control data. Unlike, are
Did
you
you
listening to me?
Narrative.
did you get that,
Yeah,
Sandeep?
we are.
Maybe you can
Can I
just
can I go ahead?
it's
Yeah,
hard to hear him. It's coming in staticky. It's hard to understand.
yeah.
Maybe Sandeep, you
It's
can give a breakdown of what, if you heard that correctly, what that is, how it works.
so basically like as per my discussion, like as per my understanding with them, um, they are creating an AI agent, and they want to. They'll be publishing that. But I think Nara team, there's some issue with your mic. It's not just network. It's I think the problem is mic also, right? Because we kept getting that. I was seeing here high pitch this things, so it was very staticky. Let me.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Let me
So
let me try and adjust that. Let me try and adjust that.
yeah, now it is better. Now it is better. Now you can
There's an
continue.
improvement there for sure.
Okay,
Hmm.
it's better. So you can ask me
Let's
that how does blockchain fit in this? Can can I proceed?
Yeah, so far so good.
You want to say something? Okay.
no, no,
So
continue.
you okay. You can want to ask that how does blockchain fit in first of all is smart contract have the full ownership of your AI agent. Secondly, the secure AI chain ensure that the decentralized deployment transparent of the project is maintained. Again, you can train your data can be stored off chain with some encrypted. Then, as I've said, the AI is unique because it's not just another chatbot. It's for developers, for creators, and users who want real control. We all know that crypto is about control. It's about decentralized. We don't want that monopoly. We want control. AI. Give us that power to be able to control uh, our project, our chatbot. Then that's a custom AI market of the project, a custom AI marketplace, and whereby you can train your own AI agent. And according to the to our roadmap, the launch is going to be this month. Hopefully, our token information is going to be released this month, and then the total supply is going to be 20 million.
Okay,
Okay.
so what I got from that was they're tokenizing the AI agents using the Sky network, correct?
Yeah. True.
Okay. That's actually a very powerful use case. So we see the expansion of AI agents go from no one knows about it to every company going forward is going to use some type of AI agent in different parts of their company. We at Evolve Blockchain are exploring this right now as we speak because you can have an AI agent respond to emails, answer questions of the community. You can have an AI bot on the website. For example, we're working on what we call Eva, Evolve Virtual Assistant, and she'll be on the main website. And any question you have about Evolve blockchain, she will be able to answer because she has access to the database of the white paper and all the information we have about Evolve blockchain in one big database. And instead of someone going through a website and going through FAQs and not finding their question that they're thinking of, and then if they want to reach out to us through an email, it's going to take days to get back to them because everyone's very busy, right? This gives you an instant, hey, how does this work? Ask the agent. The agent responds in a second. And now you have a second and third and fourth question. Now that user or that community member, you might have just gained the community member at that point instead of lost them forever because they then get, okay, you know what, I can't figure out what I want to figure out. I'm out. I'm gonna go somewhere else. And then they forget about the project. They don't come back, right? Even to like being able to call a person and schedule a meeting and then book the meeting on the actual email of the person who owns the AI agent. That's extremely important, right? Now verifying and be able to use these agents and sell these agents, right, by tokenizing on the blockchain itself is a gigantic use case that I think is going to amplify over the next few years because everyone's going to get more and more comfortable using these agents for a lot of the processes you would in your company or your organization or your group. And that's only going to amplify what you can do because now you don't have to do customer service. You don't have to do callbacks. You don't have to do explaining every question that's coming from the community because this agent is more efficient and it's the information it gives out is exactly what's on that database. So it's not making up anything. It's not thinking of something that's not there. It's pulling information straight from that database and answering the questions as efficiently as possible, right? So yeah, it's a great use case.
Definitely. And when you were saying Reggie, I mean, this week, this is one of the issue I was facing. So I was checking, like, I'm always available in the Telegram group, Secure Chain. Okay. And it's not that, I mean, I won't be able to answer everybody's questions, but I would be, going through the group and will be, I would update the person or do this. But I think so basically the problem is so many community members have different types of questions that okay, why how the sky migration is going on, like how do I migrate my older BNB token or Ethereum tokens like Sky BNB or Sky ETS to Sky Mainnet, or so many questions, right?
Sometimes the
uh,
same questions over and over, right? And you're trying
exactly.
to answer everybody, but you don't have enough time in the day, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and so even like recently there were a couple of questions, but then I like this week I committed our team members that okay, I'll do one thing. I'll probably create a website or something and share it with you, that you can so basically you can understand what to do, how to do, step by step. But maybe agent can be a better option here, okay, instead of a website, to answer any questions they like generally they have, which are specific to the secure chain, our Sky project, right? Sky community. Yeah, thank you. So we can work on that. Yogesh, would you like to add here on the agents?
Yeah. So I think the AI agents are something because I have seen there are so many use cases of all these kinds of AI agent chatbots, and there are many things are out there. So I think there is a huge market about this. There is a huge market share in AI industry as a whole. So yeah, I mean, uh, we are very hopeful for the projects to go successful and have a very positive impact on the ecosystem.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So, thank you very much, Nara team, again for taking this time out. Let us not be the your voice, and we would love you to discuss the like discuss the project with the community. So we have created a subtopic in our Telegram group. Please feel free to add the details of your project. Also, the question I'll do one thing. I'll put up like a questionnaire in that Telegram group, so you can answer them there. Okay, because text would be much better. Um, due to technical issue with your mic or internet, we are still getting that glitches, right? So yeah, let me unmute you. But we'll have
Yeah.
please. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. So can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you.
Are you hearing me?
Nope. Let's do one thing, Nara team. No, I think there's some issue. Please, Nara team, do one thing. Please put up a message in the Telegram group. I think that would be the best way to do it. And I'll, add some questions there as well. Yogesh, correct?
Yeah, yeah, definitely, yes.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, guys, we are reaching the time. We are 5 minutes away from the end of the show. So before we go towards the end, first of all, let me take this time and acknowledge everybody spending this 55, 56 minutes and this 1 hour with us. Um, thank you very much. So I'll go through some questions actually. So as I was saying, no, I got to see a message from Kylie Smith, okay, on Telegram, on YouTube. So Kylie, please, possible messages on, like, please do create a support ticket or message me on Telegram, DM me, or maybe talk to us and we'll sort out your issue, whatever the problem you have. I'm sure there must be a reason for it, and of course you would get your money back from the bridge, so don't worry about it. Okay, nobody loses their money with us so far. Okay. Richie, by the way, this is also one statutory warning I wanted to put to everybody. Okay. That, see, do your own research. Listen to this show for learning about the ecosystem, learning about the Web3, learning about secure chain AI, evolve blockchain, right? But this is in no way a financial advice here, what we are giving, what we are doing here. Do not buy Sky for, just purpose of investment. It's not an investment thing, right? It is a utility token. So understand more about the project first, understand more what are the utilities, what you can do with Sky, right? And again, we are a very simple straightforward project. Okay, we do not have all the inflationary things which are, like, for example, we had mining, right, staking and mining operations. So we are moving that staking and mining operations to the liquidity staking. So basically, instead of staking just Sky, you would be staking Sky slash USDS in pair. Okay, and yeah, that is something which will be upcoming. But I think this is a good time to let the community know, and also I'll be building something for the community like this AI agent which we discussed, right? I think it is a very good idea, and this could help our community very much. So yeah, we'll look into that. Over to you, Richie.
Yeah, having the tools, even just like the basic starting points, starting a wallet, creating a contract, right? All of these are stepping stones or setbacks that people have when they first get into crypto, into the markets and the networks themselves, that hold them back from really diving into the actual ecosystem, right? Most people don't know how to do a Solidity contract to make a token, right? If we can give them as many tools as possible in as easy and straightforward way as possible, then that's just going to amplify. We come again to the whole AI being able to take a vision of yours or an idea and make it into a reality, right? Same thing happens with these tools, right? You can start a wallet, you can start a vault, a multi-signature wallet, which most people don't even know about anymore, right? And this was something, a concept that's been here forever, right?
Yeah.
And you can use that for a vault or a family trust. There's many different applications of that, right? Creating a token, managing your community's token, being able to interact and do an airdrop, do a vote. These are all functions that are just basic functions of these networks and our tokens, But most people don't know how to actually operate those, so they have to find a developer. Developer costs money, time, effort, etc. Now, if you're able to do that with these applications themselves, you just amplified what you're able to create, right? Your innovation doesn't stop at I don't know how to code, so end in point, I can't pass this line. Now you can use these decentralized applications. You can build a token, you can launch the token, you can manage the token, all from a easy, simple user base UI where it's clicking buttons and everything's explained, right? Instead of having to go learn how to code, learn how to execute functions on the Evo Explorer or the Sky Explorer. And for some people, that's very complicated, right? And we understand that. We see that. So we're trying our best to really bring things to a level where anybody can start off with zero experience and guide them through that process, right? At the end of the day, like Sandeep was saying, this is a very new and innovative network and market ecosystem. So everyone, please do your research. Don't take anything we see up here and just blindly follow us and blindly go by a thing you heard online and say, oh, I'm going to buy a lot of this coin because this person said that. First, go research that project, research how it works, learn about that functions, learn about blockchain in general, because that should be your starting point. And then look to make investments and then look to use these utility tokens for what they are, utilities on the network, right? So Evo Coin, Sky Coin, they are a currency of the network, right? They're meant to be used to execute contracts, build tokens, and the rest, right? They're not meant to be just traded, right? We need utility, we need use cases. We need to actually use these for something other than just trading back and forth from each other, because that doesn't bring us anywhere, right? Yes, there's a value associated with these, and it's very speculative because people pump and dump these prices all the time, right? And I say it all the time. It's not the value the price is trading at that gives value to a coin, right? It's how that network's been established, what it can do. Is it scalable? Is the transactions expensive, right? Can you build any type of smart contract that you want to on that network, right? That gives value to a blockchain, right? The price is secondary to that. So make sure you guys really do your homework, do your research. I understand it feels overwhelming at times. It feels like it's a very complicated subject that you have to be an expert to get. You don't, not anymore, right? We're trying our best to give all of you the tools you need to walk you through that process. And you still have to be diligent, right? We want ownership of our own finances and decentralization, all that. That means the onus is on us now to really keep it safe and not someone else. You can't say, hey, Sandeep, I lost my private keys. Recover that for me. We can't do it, right? That's the power of blockchain. We give you all the power to own your own assets and trade your own assets and no middleman anymore and a trustless nature. And a part of that comes with the responsibility of keeping it safe. So if you guys lose your private keys or you guys send a mistake when you send coins to a different wallet, that even if there's a difference of a few decibels or a few letters and numbers on that contract address, right, when you send it over and it goes to the unwanted wallet, we can't help you with that. We can't get those coins back for you, right? That's the power of us giving you
Yeah,
this decentralized network. Is you guys have all the power, not us. We're just here to support you guys through that process.
yeah, yeah. True, true. Very well said, Richie. And yes, so guys, please learn. If you have any question, feel free to put in the group. Join us in the Telegram, and be with us. Join the show every Saturday 2 p.m. UTC. So next show, let me just quickly give you the roundup about the recap or kind of a recap for what to expect in the next show, right? So first of all, those who have been there, right now I'm in Dubai, and it's been an amazing journey to come here, seeing this thriving ecosystem. I've been meeting many people here, okay, and I mean things are looking good. We are planning to host episode 10 of this season here in Dubai offline. So it will be an event on 31st of May. So please stay tuned in for that also. This episode 5th is Wormhole Wonders, which is upcoming episode. And before, of course, before that, the new bridge will be available. This is the new bridge which we are building is a wormhole bridge. Basically, next episode will go in detail of workings of the bridge, each and everything. We'll go through the, how and what it can be helpful, and etc etc. Also, the users in this upcoming week will be using this new bridge. So basically right now we are launching this bridge in beta version, so it will be in beta. So do use it, and first users to bridge sky during the show will be getting the rewards also. So yeah, stay tuned, and this is what it looks like right now. And the Sky Network Show Season 3, maximizing the crypto bull run, right? That is, I think so far it is going great, guys. And thank you everyone for their contributions. And yeah, let's stick to it and keep doing it. Yogesh, would you like to do the concluding remarks,
Yeah,
please?
yeah, definitely. So, once again, everyone who are here since all the time, really appreciate all these people, and also those people who are with us since very long time. So I see there are so many people who are been with the project from even for the very first day. So absolutely pleasure and honor to have all these loyal and people who are believing in the project. So appreciating all of them and all the people who are new coming. So it's exciting to have all these community members, because it's end of the day it's a community project. And as I always talk about the decentralization and democratic values, so that's what this whole vision of the Sky project is. So definitely this is a great conversation and journey. I mean, not only this show but entire project. So it's like over 2 year time now, from the beginning, since it was first started, the first domain was registered for the very first time. So it's a long journey, but it was roller coaster but very exciting journey of the project. So appreciating everyone. Also, I express my gratitude to our special guest Richie Marquez, who are here with his commitment for this show and for this community. And yeah, I mean, together there is a success. So it's all about the collective efforts. Being a community projects together, there is a confirmation of or the higher possibility of success. So that's what everything is all about. And thank you everyone for being here. And yeah, wish you everyone a very happy weekend and a successful week ahead.
Definitely, Yogesh. And thank you, community. Thank you very much. Wishing every one of you a very happy weekend and a productive week ahead. We'll see you next Saturday, 2 p.m. UTC sharp. Don't forget to join in. Also, go to the show.securechain.ai website and participate in the rewards program, where you can get the airdrops of 747 token. So don't miss it. Do join us. Have a great weekend.